I hereby summon all my imps. Hey everybody, it's Annabelle. So the newest patch notes came out for August. And to a certain degree, these are kind of the saddest patch notes that exist. Because for all intents and purposes, there's really only one card that got changed in this patch update. And that's the Spider-Man. The Spider-Man got a completely new rework done on it. Now if you play Spider-Man, he's dropped from 5 all the way back down to 3. And he's actually gained 1 power, so he's gone up from 4 to 5. And now what he'll do is, on reveal, he'll move himself to another location and pull an enemy from the location you played him on to the location he goes to. And boy, does this change a lot of things. First of all, it changes one of the most notable cards in Marvel Snap right now. Because if you go to power, he's now going toe-to-toe with Polaris. Same power as Polaris, same energy as Polaris, and almost the same effect as Polaris. And as a better Polaris to a certain degree because of the fact that Polaris sometimes would knock you out because if they didn't have a 1 or 2, it wouldn't pull anything. This will always pull something as long as it's on your opponent's side of the field. Also, it kind of works like a Silk does now. Or kind of like a Nightcrawler, where it can go into a location you weren't expecting it to. So, now if you've got like a Sanctum Sanctorum or something like that, you can play the Spider-Man on another location other than Sanctum Sanctorum, and if there are no other cards in that location, it can bounce into the Sanctum Sanctorum and stick there. This is probably one of the strongest 5 cards that exists right now. You've turned Spider-Man into like the biggest 3/5 out there. It's now basically knocked Polaris off her pedestal. Sometimes you're just going to be using this as a control tool to pull something out of a lane. It's almost as good as an arrow. You're going half the energy and you're basically getting Arrow's effect. Now, with Arrow, you do get to know what cards you're pulling because it's the last card that's pulled. Where this can be a random card. But for half the price, basically, considering you're only losing a couple stats. You're losing 3 stats for basically half the price. So that's the big thing that you gotta know about Spider-Man. Also, this will stop one of the most common effects that has existed for the longest time, which is the old wave combo. Where you'd play Wave on 3, you'd play Galactus on 4, and then you'd play Spider-Man on 5. Walking down the lane, and then you would clean it up with 6. You no longer can do that with Wave. It's Spider-Man combo, so that combination has been fully killed. Now, other than that, there's basically no changes that happened in the game. Yes, there are changes that have happened in this patch note, but they're all basically textual changes for all intents and purposes. We're going to go over those textual changes just in case you didn't read the patch notes. the thing has changed on High Evolutionary side. So the High Evolutionary on thing has gone from doing 3 -1 power to one negative power to 3 different things. So if your opponent only has 1 creature on that location, it'll only do 1 negative power now. They've got 2 characters on that location, it will do 2 negative power. And if they've got 3 on that location, it'll do 3 negative power. This brings the thing down to more of a needs to be played on a location that's got a lot of cards on it, instead of just taking -3 off of one particular card. The next change that's happened here is to Mr. Cable. Mr. Cable has changed from revealing the bottom card of the deck to revealing the top card of the deck. But now this will no longer pull the American Chavez all the time. The next one that's kind of had just a consistency update for how it works with the game is Mr. Negative. Mr. Negative will now only make something go up to 6 energy. So for whatever reason you're playing with a Titania. Sorry, let me change that around. If you're playing with a Maximus in your deck, in the Mr. Negative deck, hoping to get the Maximus early, the Maximus will now only be a 6/3 instead of a 7/3, meaning that you can still play the Maximus. Don't know why you'd want to play a 6/3, but if you want to, you now can. It makes it so that no card's dead in your hand. Also, it might be for if in case you get it off of, like, the X-Mansion. Another one that got a just textual change is Rogue. Rogue just made it so that her ability now works more effectively on stuff that would make sense. Like, Rogue can now trigger off of Mystique, because the Mystique becomes an ongoing. This will now steal the Rogue. This will now steal Mystique's ability. So if they play a Mystique, you can play the Rogue and steal the Mystique's ability. And the last one that kind of got just a text up change, kind of a buff to it to a certain degree, is Magik. Magik now can just be played on turn 6 or 7. It's just a 3/2 after that point, but at least you can put the stat points on it. I'm very upset that if this is the month's patch notes, that basically only one card really got any kind of change to it. Everything else is basically just mechanical changes. Also, I'm very upset that nothing went down in series. It's been since May since we've had a series drop. So that's been June, July, and August, which means that the next time we can possibly get a series drop will be September. That'll be 4 months out. So if you were looking for something like, you know, say for example, to go down in price, you've now had to wait basically 4 months, hopefully, to get that to go down in price. And there are cards that I do believe need to be taken down in price. Also, if you are interested at all, the multi-leveling system has now been brought into the game. So if you press this little plus button, it'll change what level you can go up to. It'll stop at infinite. And if you hit this button, it'll tell you that you need how much gold you need if you want to go up. The breakdown of the gold, it's 4 gold per booster that you need. And it's 20 gold per 25 credits. So you're better off, if you need the credits, to go for this mission refresh here. It's also weird that they put it at 4 gold per booster instead of 5 gold per booster. I'm glad that they did. It makes it cheaper, but it also makes it so now you'll have weird fractions of gold that won't end in a 5 or a 0. Those are all the stuff that came out in this current card balance update. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and as always, remember, play for fun.